Think about it. Every person you meet does something extraordinary each day. Sometimes these people are your neighbors, friends, spouses, or more. Yet what do they really do when they put on their badge or grab their stethoscope? Maybe some hairspray and a brush? What about an admin or designer who are behind the curtain? These people, among many professions, know what their daily duties are and are fantastic at them. This video series showcases the many jobs that are in the world that we come in connection with and who we as an agent want to refer you to. Please enjoy the series.
Anyway, Eileen.
Hi.
Thanks for sitting down with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Eileen comes to us from Farmers Insurance.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Anyway, so yeah, Eileen was kind enough to sit down with us here today at North Orange County Escrow here in Fullerton to answer some questions and kind of debunk this whole insurance mystery and how important it is to the home buying and selling and owning process.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have some questions we're going to cover, but I think first we'd like to know just a little bit about you, the person.
Of course.
So if you could take a minute and kind of share some of that.
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit with you about what I do.
Sure.
I've been in the business for 11 years already.
Okay. Wow.
And before being an insurance agent, I'm also a mom.
Awesome.
I have 2 kids. My daughter, she's 14. My son is 10.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and I'm so happy for what I do. I learned a lot through these 11 years doing insurance.
I can imagine.
So yeah, it's been a fun road.
Good. Very cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, kids are fun. I'm sure you have your hands full with a 14 and a 10-year-old. Great. So I guess I'll just kind of burn through the questions and you can take your time answering each one, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So first off, might sound like kind of an obvious question, but I don't think the answer is so obvious. What is the purpose of insurance?
Well, yeah, the purpose of the insurance is to transfer risk.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever risk it will be. For instance, if it's auto insurance, is to transfer that risk through the company. If it's home insurance, if it's a business insurance, whatever the insurance will be, is to transfer that risk through the company, and that's why the company will pay for any damages and to get things back to where it's supposed to be.
Okay. So peace of mind.
Exactly.
This helps people sleep at night. We love insurance,
Correct.
right?
Yes,
okay. Do you have any recommendations for it's buyers or realtors, but also homeowners in general that you could share?
Yes, especially for when there's a new transaction, when they're going to buy a house. It is important to start by getting a quote for home insurance.
Okay.
And once you open escrow, I think it would be a good idea to do that. Because sometimes buyers or agents leave this to the last minute and then they are rushing before closing escrow to get a policy, which I don't mind, and I can do that for you guys, no problem.
Okay.
But it would be a good idea to start working on a quote, so that way the clients can compare, policies. They can compare coverages, premiums, and all of that.
Okay.
And get a better policy, better product.
Okay.
Besides, we need to work on getting a home estimation of the property, the home reconstruction cost, and so we need to...
Like if it burns down or something like that?
Correct.
Okay.
So we need to know facts about the property. For instance, what is the square footage of the property, if it has a pool, if it has a fireplace, what kind of roof it has, if it's shingle or Spanish tile, concrete tile. Also, what kind of the quality of the materials of the house. For instance, what kind of floors.
Okay.
If it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, whatever it will be, we need to know that information. So travertine, whatever it is, the same for the counters, because sometimes it has tile, sometimes it has granite. Also, if your property has a pool, if it's 2 stories, there's a lot of information that we need to collect from the property in order to base our quote for the reconstruction cost of the property.
Right. Okay.
Usually, what I do is I Google the property and They start looking at the pictures, and so that gives me an idea of the property to be stored. It has a pool, it has a fireplace, and a detached garage. All that information is important for me to do my quote.
Okay.
And also we do base our numbers on the square footage of the property.
Okay.
And the year built, and also the location. Because if the property is located in a zone that is kind of risk for fires, the system takes that in consideration in when we get the premium.
So sometimes fire coverage is required as well? That's always part of it, but
yes,
increased coverage.
Exactly. Increase the risk.
Right.
Therefore, is going to be a little bit more premium because of that, because there's more risk.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
How does the year built come into play with the coverage cost?
Yeah, the year built is important because if it's a brand new home, it has better features regarding security. For instance, they usually has already built-in fire sprinklers.
Oh, okay.
Which is a great way to protect the property, and then the clients will get a discount because of that.
Okay.
And so that is basically one of the main reasons. Like the year built is important because we're dealing with properties also built in the 1900s or 1950, and yes, there's a different type of properties that we deal with.
Okay.
And yes, you see everything.
I'm sure.
And for the reconstruction of the property, yes.
Right on. Yeah, I've said a few times with this industry, we should write a book about all the stuff that comes up that you just can't make up. There's so many different scenarios.
Exactly.
Dealing with people, obviously, so everything's different. But okay. And what's covered exactly? You answered some of that with the prior question, but what's really covered with a policy, and how is maybe a little more about how the premium is calculated precisely?
Correct. The main coverage is the dwelling, which is the fire protection.
Okay.
This is the main coverage.
Okay.
And then you will see the reconstruction cost, and then that will determine the premium of the property.
Okay.
However, I will recommend just to get more coverages, not just get satisfied because I already have my coverage because I have the dwelling, the fire protection.
Right.
It's always good to have additional coverages into the policy.
Okay.
One of the coverages are like is the home property, the personal property, which protects the homeowners in case of a fire and also in case of a breaking in the property, so they can recover their personal belongings.
Gotcha.
Something else that is also important to have is the loss of use, which protects the homeowner in case something happens with the property, so they have a place where to live, like the hotel is included, is covered.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, the property is being rebuilt.
Gotcha.
Other coverages are like, for instance, the liability, the personal liability, and again, it's in case somebody get hurt in the property and they want to, of course, so the homeowner, so they have protection or of the also if the homeowner has a pet and harm somebody,
right?
So it has protection for that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Are there certain restrictions with breeds, certain types of breeds of dogs and stuff?
Of course. Yeah. If it's like a pit bull or kind of that kind of breed, you have restrictions.
More difficult.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. What else can a buyer do to protect, or a homeowner, I should say, do to protect their investment?
There's different things that they can do. For instance, they can get a life insurance. Okay. In case something happens to the homeowner. Okay. So their family can have the property, paid off, hopefully, or at least covered for a big amount. That way, the family can still keep the property in case of something happened to the homeowner. Okay. Other protections that we suggest is to have an umbrella. And just in case the homeowner has has an accident, a car accident, and an umbrella will give them $1 million of liability or more, and that way is like stopping from coming after the house. Right. Yes, in case of a really bad accident. Right. Yeah. Knock on wood, right? I know. That's why we have insurance. Correct. So great. So I know you've been doing insurance for 11 years. So that's awesome. And
First off, is there a charge for a quote? Like if I open an escrow or a buyer does and they need a
Absolutely
quote?
not.
Okay, and the lenders usually require it anyway, so
Correct.
might as well get it sooner than later.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also for people that are refinancing their homes, sometimes they just have whatever policy, they don't have that proper coverages.
Right.
So it's good to have a quote, and it doesn't hurt to have another quote, quote, and for them to compare, see the difference, and see if it's gonna worth making the change.
Okay.
But it's always good to have different quotes where they can compare and see to get a better decision.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So how do people contact you if they want to ask more questions or get a quote?
Of course, they can call me. They can call me or even text me. My phone number is 714-225-4444.
Okay.
Or they can also email me, and again, I just need their name, their property address, little details if they have it. Otherwise, I do my research and then I get back to them with a quote.
Okay.
And then once we have a quote, we can start from there and then start moving the numbers if they want to increase some coverages, if they want to add more, if they want to get played a little bit with the deductibles. And we start with that quote and make all the changes until we get something that they feel comfortable with. Okay, great.
Yeah. Is there a place that people can go to find out maybe more about you?
Yeah, they can.
You on social media?
Yes, they can follow me at Eileen Ferrufino on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, they can find me in social media.
Okay.
Again, on my phone number, that's 714-225-4444.
Cool.
Or they can also email me, is eferrufino@farmersagent.com.
Okay, we'll post all that in the notes as well, so it's easier to spell and everything. So.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you, Eileen, for coming down.
Much for
really appreciate it. Absolutely.